In a time where the world was divided, my grandparents and Dr. King fought for the same cause, putting an end to segregation, separation, and isolation that divided the human race. Just like Martin Luther King Jr.'s parents, my grandmother provided her with an understanding that they were important, cherished, and that they were somebody, regardless of laws. My grandmother, being the freedom fighter that she was frequently quoted and interviewed for her values and intellect, specifically during an interview with Vida Prince, author of That's the Way It Was. My grandmother stated, "You have to understand that there is no restaurant where we could eat except a Black-owned restaurant. There was no theaters, no movie houses that we could go to except in a Black community. I think there was not one time I went downtown to, let's say, buy a pair of shoes or a dress or something that I did not want to go places that were forbidden to me. I think that when you pass an eating counter, naturally, you want to eat. So I think from tiny children on, our parents tried to shield us from lunch counters because they know, and you know, that there is a hurt and there is a feeling of being less than human." My grandparents played a big part in the civil rights movement in St. Louis, Missouri. My grandfather was a white man who married a Black woman. He met my grandmother in an organization called CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality. They were both extremely active in this multiracial organization, founded at the University of Chicago in 1942. The members of CORE considered themselves militant pacifists. They learned from Mahatma Gandhi, the Indian civil rights leader, who believed in the technique of satyagraha, which means insistence on truth. It is a belief that progress is made through nonviolent direct action. They used their words, risked their lives, and even went to jail, demanding immediate change for equality in this country. After my grandmother had spent 11 days in jail, multiple Black and white protesters blocked the bank entrance and police arrested them. A close friend of my grandparents remembers that after my grandmother got out of jail, she stayed and prayed in front of the jail, holding candles, encouraging the others locked inside. When my grandmother applied for college, she was denied admission to the University of Missouri due to her race. But then in 1977, she was appointed by Governor Joseph Teasdale to serve on the same university's board of curators. My grandmother became the first Black woman curator, and at that time was reappointed in 1979. Our family has received many honors and accolades in her and my grandfather's name. 4 years after my grandmother passed away on March 12, 1994, the Black Culture Center at the University of Missouri, also better known as Mizzou, was renamed for my grandmother and Lloyd Gaines, an African-American student who was also denied admission to MU, later to have the decision reversed by the Supreme Court.